Hello and welcome to another episode of the Frequency of Love podcast, hosted by me and my incredible partner, Dave.
Hello.
Yeah. We were inspired by our own love story that we wrote about in a book, that we also realized that love is alive and well. And in a world that is so focused on so much going wrong, we thought, let's focus on what's going right. And so we decided to host this podcast, to come together with other couples so we can talk all things love. And today we are sitting down with some fabulous people that we've just recently met in Costa Rica, Shauna and Laurie. Thank you so much for being here. When we first met, it felt very cosmic and very easy. And I think I blocked out everybody else in the room. We just talked and it was so great. And I'm just so happy you guys are on. And just thank you for being here with us.
Thanks for having us on.
Amazing. So I want to ask you guys, how did you meet?
You tell a story.
So yeah, it was a month after I'd played a tournament here in Ojuchal. I never knew this town existed. I was in Jaco,
which is 2 hours north.
Yeah, and I had gotten in to coach here. There was coaches already in my town, and I was really keen to kind of launch my coaching side hustle. And Shauna was my second student, and yeah, I mean, she was kind of goofy and really good at pickleball. I used to film all my lessons, and at one point where we're picking up balls, she's making faces at the camera. I would later see it, and just the figures of speech and stuff. So it's like a vivid memory, when we met. But yeah.
I know, but I thought, oh, he's such a nice guy. What a sweet man. Like, I never thought of him anything more than a coach. But he had a different version in that I think he liked me right away, but
yeah, I'll tell you that later.
Okay, fair enough. So it was pickleball. Yeah. And was that last fall or?
No, it was in February.
Yeah.
Okay.
February this year. Still so new.
And you were still working on all your, you just have never been able to stop learning new skills, right? So you're like, why not pickleball? And then.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I need to be moving. I just constantly need to be moving. So when I learned about pickleball, I was like, oh my gosh, yes, I still get to play. So.
And down the street too. So that's perfect.
Exactly.
I know. I love that. Okay. So then how did you know, or did you each of you have a moment at all when you were like, I know this is it. I know that this is my person.
I knew. So there was a tournament coming up. I think it was in March. Yeah, it was March. And I had a pickleball partner already for mixed doubles, and he messaged me and it's like, will you be my partner? I was like, I'll just cancel the other guy. And we played.
Was that because you thought you would win? Or
because he was a better player and I wanted to win. And so I was like, cool. Yeah, we ended up winning first or second? First. So it was a good move on my part. But in one of the final matches, I remember looking over at him because his energy was amazing the entire time. And I never really noticed it because we've never played together. We've never hung out together except him coaching me. And then I just remember finding our energy so compatible, and there was no words. It was just feeling our energy together. And that's when I knew that I was interested in him. And this is after talking for over a month on text, because he would text me every day. And I thought, oh, what a sweet man. He's asking me how I'm doing. And always so thoughtful. And
you didn't know that I liked you.
I didn't know. And so later that day after our pickleball tournament, I was thinking, should I text him and just say, do you like me? Why do you text me all the time? Trying to ask me out on a date. And then he messaged me the next day asking to grab a bite or something like that. I forget how it was, but I didn't have to send the text.
You didn't have to.
No, but I was thinking about it. Yeah, like I could pick up my phone and think, "Ugh, how do I word this? Do you like me?" It sounds so high school.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
the
get
next day, yeah, he messaged me and
So do you want me to fill in the blanks?
yeah, he can fill in his.
It was more like 2 months from when we met to when we played the tournament.
Almost.
Yeah, like 7 weeks or so. And we had another tournament coming up, which was like a weird skinny singles tournament.
Yeah, up in his town, so up in Hako.
And weirdly, the moment where she started to like me, we had plans to do something that evening, which you called an adventure, after the tournament.
Yeah.
And she just kind of disappeared, but we were both tired, and I was kind of like, well, she obviously doesn't like me, right?
Yeah.
And it's so funny, at that time,
I went to Laura's house for chicken wings. I was like, yes, I don't have to cook.
And but then you asked if you could stay at my place, and that's how it started.
I actually said, okay, I'll get a hotel and I'll go play and then we'll go get dinner. And it was crickets. He never responded to that. And I said, and then like a day later, I was like, unless you have a guest room.
Something like that.
Yeah. That was our first date.
Yeah.
April 13th.
So then from my side, it is funny because I read that question about when did you know it was it? And I didn't know it was it right away. But as soon as I met Shauna, I liked her. Like I knew I liked her. And
Yeah.
I guess just nothing ever happened for that to stop or ever be questioned. You know what I mean? It just blossomed and grew. But I was very determined to take it slow because I didn't always do that. And then like obviously, rushing into things doesn't often work out, right? And so I really took my time, and it was like credit to how like much I was taking my time and not letting you know how I feel, I guess, that you were thinking like, does this guy even like me? Beyond that, I was communicating so regularly. But I liked her from the beginning, and it was really funny. Her son, when he started to hear about me, insisted one night that I explain why I like his mom, And it was really cute, and it was a call. And I just kind of, I don't know, I felt like it was such an honest and cute question from a 11-year-old at the time that I just kind of answered as openly and honestly as I could, and just really explained how when I first saw you, you were so athletic, and then when I interacted with you, because you played a game before you had your first lesson with me, and I remember just seeing like being like, whoa, she's so athletic, and then like you were really sweet, funny, goofy, and then you had your 2 dogs, and then you told me how many dogs you have, animal lover, and it's just kind of like, yeah, just kind of everything I found out, like I found you more attractive that you were a single mom, right? That was more attractive to me than say if you were just single, and things like that. It's just, I don't know, the more I learned, the more it became it for me,
I love that. I love that so much. And just so you know, Shauna, picking up on hints, like that's Dave. So when you guys read the book too, you'll see like he didn't pick up on any of my hints at all. Like I had to be waving a flag and been like, I'm interested. And he finally noticed me. Actually, when I dressed down into something a little more tame, I used to be really bright in clothing. And that's when he finally noticed me. So it's like I get that sometimes it's just not on his radar. Like even today, if women hit on him, he has no clue.
It's not a Celeste thing. I'm just like, no idea. It's like, Dave, that girl's so hitting. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, same. I'm like, okay, he's a nice guy.
And I like Laurie, like what you're saying too, is because you're like, and it was the one time you went slow. Like, so it's like she almost needed the hints, but you're like, but I'm just going to go slow. But in a way, that was probably exactly what you both needed. Like,
yeah, because if he tried pursuing me, I would have not been interested. So he played it right. I get too overwhelmed when guys are interested in me. I don't know. I'm like, freaks me out. That's why I don't think anyone's interested.
By the way, it happens wherever we go.
So he knew, like intuitively.
I mean, I guess. I think it was a combination of my own experiences and lessons learned, and being like, if anything needed to be rushed, if there was something that needed to be rushed in this, it's not right. Like
Totally.
I don't know. I just knew I was going to do it different this time. And and it was, I mean, it's the same with the alcohol thing. Like our first date, like I used to drink, And our first date, I was just like, because we went to this Mexican restaurant that makes an amazing margarita, really good tacos, beautiful view. Everything was perfect. And I planned on having one of the margaritas, and they're oversized. And I thought through it. And I was like, I know what's going to happen. The first half is going to be fine. And by the second half, I'll feel a little bit different and tipsy and we'll be disconnected. Yeah. And I just didn't want that. And I've actually never drank in front of Shauna. And at first I just didn't want to. And she would be like, have a beer.
Because I don't drink.
Everybody thinks like, oh, Shauna stopped, Shauna didn't want him drinking or something. I imagine. I haven't had too many conversations about this, but I just didn't want to be on a different level, And it was instinctive at the first time because I told her up front because I knew she didn't drink. And I was like, I have a drink. I don't drink much, but I do. And then it just kind of evolved that way. And it's what you're talking of, like, I don't know, like some kind of instinct that worked for us,
Yeah.
I think, I don't know, something.
I would say you took it seriously. Like you wanted to connect. You're like, I genuinely wanted to connect, and I didn't want something that would take me out of the moment of being able to have that.
1,000%. Yeah, well put.
Yeah, it also helped the relationship because I have a 0 alcohol around my son rule. Not that I've ever really dated, but that was one of the rules. Like if I dated, no one drinks around my son. So it just made it easier. So
get it?
Yeah.
Get it, guys. I love that. I love it all. I love it all. Okay, so what is one quality you loved at the start? Like one of the first things you noticed that then you also still adore today?
I'll go first. The one thing that I loved about him is how he explained things and just the depth of his thoughts that he would just, if I said, well, what about this? Or we talked about this and we talked about, how we handle fights and things like that. And he would always, like, sometimes I feel like he would go on ChatGPT to answer it for him because they were so perfect. And I just loved his mind, just the way he thought. And he's still that way too. He always says things where I'm just like, wow, that was deep.
I love that.
Yeah. So he's very thoughtful about everything. So before he speaks, he's most of the time. He's very thoughtful, intentional what he says, and it's very thought out and well explained, well spoken.
I love it.
But yeah, I love that.
Yeah, cool, babe. I forgot about that. Used to speak a lot about that in the beginning. So for me, I think definitely, so Shauna's not dated much. I've been married. I've had long-term relationships. And so I have a lot of comparisons, and I think I was always more, I always gave more, I always cared more. And I was like, I've always been very caring. And this has been, to this day, like, it's just the most amazing part because, like, I think we care for each other, an equal, like, it's not like, we really both do this, but I've never had somebody care for me as much. Maybe like my mom, you know what I mean? Like, and so that for me is huge. And just how generous you are with your everything.
So is that also too, like, here he is in depth and really good at explaining things, so you're like interested, and then Laurie, you're kind of like, oh, she's actually interested in the words coming out of my mouth.
Right. Totally.
That's nice.
Yeah.
A good balance, I guess.
Yeah, and to be seen and to feel heard, and I think we're all looking for that, right?
Yeah.
That someone cares about what we're expressing at the time and present to be a part of that.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice to actually want to hear the answer. That's always a nice thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so what keeps you guys both still in love, do you think?
His cooking. I don't have to cook that one. No. It's so hard because the first month we were dating, I would drive to Hako and we'd spend a night or two together and we'd have that special time. And then as soon as he moved to Ohochal, that all went away. And it was me and Kyson, my son, and him, and 7 dogs and 4 cats. So it was like, where do we keep dating? And we really haven't had that. And so we just have to intentionally say, okay, we're going to connect and we're going to intentionally be with each other and go on a date. And, you know, this is still so new, so we're still figuring it out. And it's been a lot of navigating, but because he's so patient and so patient, like it's still going. So, and I forget because I'm in single mom mode constantly. It's like, okay, Kyson has to do this and this and this and this. And I forget he's not used to having a kid around and not always being first. So the love is there, but we just have to tap into it intentionally. Because we haven't had those proper dating months of really getting to know each other. So we started really slow and then we sped it up 100 miles per hour. And so
yeah,
hopefully we can still overcome the not having any time together and still finding ways to fall in love with each other over and over again. Maybe less dogs.
Oh my God, that would help.
Yeah, it would help.
Well, I have something to say, but I'll wait. You answer next. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I will just feed off of Shauna's answer really because I've wanted to be a dad since I can remember. Like my youngest brother was a late surprise. My mom was 43 in like 1990, pregnant with her fourth kid. So that was like way late, you know, and so from age 11, like I was a babysitter, I got involved. Like ever since then, there's a crying baby, I hold it, the baby stops crying, you know, like I've just always wanted to be a parent and it didn't work out for me for reasons, you know, like, and like I say, there was something about a single mom that kind of attracted me more, you know, that it wasn't like a lot of, I guess, dating people older this age. They're like, oh, there's kids, no, you know, like, and I didn't know what it was going to be like. And I knew it would be challenging and it certainly has been. And I think it's because I've done so much in my life. I've lived in a lot of countries and I've had party stages of my life and I've done a lot. And it's like, I think the thing that I was maybe subconsciously afraid of that would happen when you become, and I know I'm just in a blended family parental role and it's growing and I'm not a father, you know, like, and Kyson's father's in the picture and he's great, but I'm certainly playing a big role and how busy my life got outside of work and pickleball in terms of like the home.
How do we stay in love?
No, I'm coming to it. It's just like, I don't know, I felt more complete and I didn't feel like I was missing anything. Like I feel such a awesome responsibility in playing this role in his life, you know, and yes, we don't have as much as we would like to. And Kyson, and I don't want to say this on a podcast, but he doesn't allow us much space. He's very close to his mom and he's getting really close to me and he's accepting me and it's beautiful. So it is a challenge, but I just don't see it as a problem because I feel all of this is so intimate, you know, and it's messy and it's hard and we get it wrong and we learn, but for me, it's a privilege, you know, and it sounds such a cheesy answer. I'm getting emotional, but it's
no, that's wonderful. It's a wonderful answer because it is messy sometimes. It's not all flowers and rainbows.
No, I understand what you're saying because you're like, that's what's like the importance of something that's lived in your heart for so long. And now you're participating in it. And that matters to you and to your heart. And so even though it might not have all the bells and whistles that I think sometimes we all think love is, because it's really not. And we can relate because we got knocked up so quick. We had to get to know each other while I was pregnant and my moods and hormones, and I was just wanting to sleep. And so he thought I was lazy and I wanted to be nurtured and looked after, but he's like, I have finances to worry about. I can't worry about you.
Get on the way. I got to get a house. I was in a totally different mode. Like I'm a dad now. I got to take care of all this stuff.
So he thought about responsibility and I wanted to be like, can you go get me ice cream? And so we had to learn to get to know each other in the same thing. And then when you also have kids right away, when they're young, you know that usually you can't have a complete sentence without being interrupted. Like then finally, when they finally hit 5+, you're finally able to like have, oh my goodness, we've had a complete sentence here and not been interrupted. And so finding ways to still date each other almost didn't exist for years. Wow. And like, I mean, we barely went on dates. We didn't have much support from anybody to come ever babysit. That didn't ever really exist. So
we also wanted our kids close together. So
Yeah. So, but I guess I'm trying to think of what we did then to be able to still connect, even when it was a zoo and we were still learning about each other and we still had chaos all around us as we were trying to navigate all the things we were trying to navigate. And honestly, I think just at the end of the day, it was that we still just knew we were in it together. So it didn't mean it was perfect. And it meant, like, we've talked about stuff we've had to clear up that we were even just talking today. If we got in a fight, like, he used to just not talk to me because that's what he'd been taught.
That's all I knew.
So for 3 days, he'd go mute. And I had to be like, we don't have time for that. Sorry, you're going to have to stop that. And he's like, but that's all I know because that's what I'd witnessed. And so I think it's this unprogramming sometimes the way we've always been and just having someone love you in those moments to just go, it's okay, let's figure this out together. We're just two different people. How are we going to figure this out? Because we're both in it. Yeah, and I, as you said, Jonah, like, it's just, you're going to find ways to just keep choosing that.
Yeah, you find that's it. You find the moments, just like you're finding the moments. You find the moments, and then they mean more because you had to go get them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes it only takes moments.
I was gonna say, we do find the gaps, and sometimes it's like that one Friday where we just said, "Do you want to have a date today?" Remember?
Oh,
It was
wait, yeah, well,
and I kind of played hooky at work, and that was beautiful. And then sometimes there's like some travel involved, a pickleball tournament, or
yeah, sometimes weeks go by and we're like, oh my gosh, I forgot, I love you. That's hearing that, helping me. Yeah. It's so interesting. I was single for 20 years before dating him. And so this is all new to me. And I'm trying, but man, sometimes it's hard. It's like, oh yeah, I love him. Let's go with kindness, passion.
Is it almost like because 20 years single, like you almost forget you can fall back on someone? It's not a default?
Yeah, because I don't have to do it all. And just letting him take the reins and trusting that he knows how to take the reins has been like
that's a hard gear to get out of.
Yeah, it's really hard because I'm in go, 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 go mode. And I've always had many animals because I've rescued all the time. So I hold a tight ship because I got to keep it clean. I've got to get everyone fed and walked. And then when he comes in, I'm like, you got to do it this way and this way and this way. And he's like, okay, Shauna. Okay.
Sometimes I'm like, no, I'm gonna do it my way.
Why would you do it that way? It doesn't make sense.
Many of our arguments were based on that. Our different ideas of when something should be cleaned.
Oh yeah.
I'm a couple days past his version.
It's the best backfire story of a lifetime because there was one of our first kind of big kind of fights where I'm like, I'm cleaning whatever, and it goes, that's kind of your problem. If you need that to be that clean. And now, 15 years later, I can't remember
he's
last
not
time.
doing a thing. He's completely unprogrammed from it.
Let it go.
And now he's like,
so there's hope.
Yes, there is. You can unprogram from it. You can.
Hey, see all the dog hair? Yeah, it has a lot of dog hair in here. Anyway.
I mean, that was his coping mechanism. Even when I was having contractions with Rowan, he went and got a bucket of cleaning supplies and had it.
There's a whole thing with it. Yeah. Tied to my upbringing.
I understand that. I understand. Yeah. I am a neat freak. I am a clean freak. Like I vacuum. I think I have arthritis in my elbow from vacuuming too much during the day.
Yeah, his is a baseboard thing. Once the baseboards were done, he could breathe and relax and was allowed to relax.
What if someone came over and saw dirty skirting boards? What if someone came over and
it's kind of gross. I get that.
They will judge me horrifically.
You know, that's the first thing I look at when I walk in someone's house is their floors and how much dust has accumulated on their dirt. I'm like, do they not think of getting that?
Exactly. So that's a big fight. I said, that's a you problem. And he's like, how could you? I'm caring for you. Anyways. Yeah.
Yeah, we get it.
So give yourself some grace, you guys. It's normal. It's so normal to try and figure out the fact
you can love me long term, babe.
Okay, what is one? I know this is a little wordy, but what would be one quality that the other person has that you wish that they could see it the way you do?
Ooh, I'll go first. He has so many amazing skills and quality that can make him as successful as he wants. Like, he is made for success, and he just doesn't see that. We talk about this a lot, is because he came from a poor country, and I'm like, no, we're expanding our mindset. This is how we dream. This is how because he has it all. And he doesn't see that.
Mm.
But I think he's seeing it.
We're going to have dinner because we're going to have to unpack that. Okay, Laurie? Like, we've got a whole thing. We can relate. So
100%.
another time. But
Yeah,
we got
this.
Yeah, he's so talented.
Yeah, it's at first it was hard hearing and like, but I think it's been a process to unlock, and it's been unfolding, and I've been growing. And that is probably the most beautiful way you've put it. You know what I mean? And
I'm not the greatest with words.
but I mean, I'm aware and I'm working on it, you know.
But he's been to school so many times with different degrees, and I'm impressed because I dropped out of school. I'm the complete opposite. And I wanted to work a job where I was hitting the ground constantly every single day, literally, as a stunt woman. And so I'm always impressed by somebody that can use the other side of their brain and think so much more intellectually than me, because I'm like, I'll just throw myself down the stairs, I get paid, and I go home. For him, it's so opposite. So I'm just so impressed by that, because I've never been around that. And he always blows me away just how smart he is.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, Laurie, we just need someone else to see that in us.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. I think I just measured success differently. And now that there's more at stake with the family and stuff, there's a more focus on developing an earning power, you know what I mean? And like for me, my success was my lifestyle, and because it was just me, I didn't need to do as much, and I kind of prioritized that. And so it's shifting that to have bigger dreams, to be able to do more stuff in our life that we want to do now as a unit, as a family. And so like there's no better motivation for me, and so it's in progress, you know, and it's happening. Yeah,
I think he's got so much value, and he doesn't really see how much value he offers. And so I push him a little bit, where it's like, no, you are more valuable than that. You have done so much.
Yeah, and I like the push, you know, and it's like the first time it was messy because all I heard was like, I'm not enough. And there's still little bits of triggers related to it. But I mean, the way you're articulating it now, and it's like, it's beautiful, you know, and at the same time, though, it's not that I needed this now. I'm aware and I'm on this journey and we're on it together. So it's growth. And I think that's what we do for each other. We really challenge each other and help each other grow. So yeah.
Nothing better. So what do you see in Shauna that you wish she could see?
It's like funny because two things jump to mind. There's one, how good you are at pickleball. She's always down on herself about that. But I mean, it's almost like what do you call it? A snapshot for the rest. I think you downplay everything that you are capable of. And your glass is often half full, sorry, half empty, you know, when I see it overflowing. And I know that there is pressures and stresses and stuff like that. But I don't know. Remember that time I told you in your mom's kitchen how that story about like the superhero who forgot he was like trapped somewhere, and then he remembered, and the way that he could get out was just to remember who he was, that he's Batman, you know, whatever. It's so silly. But and yeah, I guess I would just, you know, you to me are like the classic superhero, just in everything that you've done. I mean, to raise Kyson, single mom, massive stunting career. I don't know how you did that. Like, and I get why you're so like how
and my house was always clean.
Everything has to be a certain way. I understand it, but I mean, you've done so much and incredibly, like I'm amazed by you. And then I think sometimes you don't see it, like you're just firmly in the present and the problem and whatever. And so also I think if you put your mind to it, you could do anything. And I think you know that too. It's just like finding the thing, right? Which you're kind
finding
of
what I want to put my mind to.
Right.
Well, it's a pretty good analogy, given what she's done for work and stuff. Exactly. I was blown away as well. Completely blown away.
Yeah.
For me, I didn't think of it any other way but survival. It's like, this is my career, this is my child, these are my animals, this is my dream house that I want to sustain. And it was just survival, and I just became a machine to it. So when I look back, when someone says something, oh my gosh, it's like, wow, how did I do that? But I was just on autopilot, knowing what I wanted and knowing that it was all right there. I just had to keep going. And luckily I built a name for myself in the stunt industry. Well, I was starting to build a name for myself when I got pregnant. So at least I had a little momentum to go off of and just keep going. But thank you for that. Thanks for the reminder.
I love it. So do you guys have a tip for what you think would help people stay strong and connected in relationships?
So for me, definitely. And I think it's something that I don't know if I ever really learned how to do it. I wanted to, and I think certain personalities avoid, like, which has made it impossible. But I just, fights are inevitable, like embrace them, but then and repair quickly, you know, like and
how you repair,
right,
and how quickly you repair.
Yeah,
that's what we're learning. Oh, you said that?
That's exactly it. Yeah. You're spot on, babe. And then just like fixing it too, like
and fixing it.
What a great idea.
No.
But I mean, like the pickleball fight, it's so silly. Like it's very common for people who play pickleball and who are couples to fight.
If you want to test the strength of your relationship, you play pickleball together.
Oh my God. Anyway, the point of the story is
getting stronger though.
Once we resolved it, we sat down on the couch, and it was really cute because Kyson actually asked if he could just stay in the room because we said we needed to talk, and he never allows us any private time. So it was kind of like, that's fine, you know? And I think it was kind of like it maybe, I don't know if there was the influence in it at all because we've never really hid anything from him. We've always ourselves around him.
Except we're not allowed to kiss.
Not allowed to kiss.
So we keep that.
We've never kissed to this day. So, but yeah, we talked it through once all the emotion had subsided and really figured out each person's position. It went up a notch again each time, but I felt like that was where the real repair happened. You know, it wasn't when you're like one of us hugs the other and goes, okay, like, all right, I'm not mad at you anymore. And I've done that before, but that's just like under the rug. And then it's just going to come back bigger, right? And or your inner voice is going to take over and you start to resent and stuff. So we've never, and I know when it's happening because my voice inside gets really loud and I'm starting to have these conversations so loud, you know what I mean? And so and then it's like we have to figure whatever it is out. I need to just express it calmly, not be reactive, whatever. And I think we're doing that really well. And I think it's absolutely
so far
imperative.
You got this.
Well, we're getting better at it.
We are getting better at it. Yes, yeah. I'm getting better.
It's not like we're suddenly going to stop. But if we did that, I do not think that a relationship cannot sustain without being able to do that. And I know from personal experience. So that's my biggest tip. You know, just figure it out. Like I also used to do the sulk thing. And I think to a certain degree, when I get really upset, that is the first thing I do, Dave. Like I just don't know what to say. I'm processing, I'm upset, and I need to escape. Not leave the house, but go to my own whatever side of the house or whatever. And I've learned with Shauna that if that goes on too long, things get worse. So as soon as I can, I come and I try and process and say like, okay, this thing upset me. And then what I alluded to before in previous relationships, when I would say what upset me, at least in my previous ones, the fight would get bigger again, like, and I would just get kind of squashed, you know, like it would all get turned around on me. And every single time I have come to Shauna and calmly said and explained whatever it was that upset me, it's gone over well. And she's taken it, you know, on board or come back and said, you know what, here's an extra layer of something that, you know, whatever it was. And then I'm like, oh, shit, you know, like, okay, now I'm learning too, or, you know, whatever it is, but that's critical. Absolutely critical in my opinion. What's your tip, babe?
Since I was in charge of the house and I was the only adult in charge of the house, that means everything I said was right. But now that there's another human in the house,
everything she says is still right.
I'm getting better at realizing not everything I'm saying is always right. And then when I realize that, then there's no fights that may happen. So you know what? You are right. Just hearing other perspectives or opinions about something where I think it's the right way. It's expanding my perspective on so many things. And I realize when I tell myself it's okay that I'm not always right, and it's okay that I'm wrong and I can laugh about it, then I learn something new and I feel like I'm growing inside at the same time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my tip would be, because I know there's so many strong-headed Scorpio women out there like me that want to, always be right. But now I've learned to laugh at things or just say, yeah, and let it go.
And I'll just add on that, like, for me, learning has also been like, do I really disagree with that? Or do I just want to not be told every single time what? And so,
Yeah.
like, sometimes I'm just, and I'm learning to just be like, okay, babe, okay, babe, and like that helps. And it's letting go of the previous triggers of people who were too controlling, they're not Shauna, right? Shauna's just got a set way of doing things, and 98% of them actually make really good sense,
I was
And
just, Lori, I get it, because it's
right.
taken me about 14 years of us together for me to realize actually he usually is always right.
Just think about it long enough.
So it took me 14 years to finally get there. And I'm like, it really does seem like he was right on that and that. But I have a sensitive heart and I needed to feel certain things and I just needed to be heard or seen, or why that felt jarring to me, or how it came across felt insensitive, or I think sometimes it was really just about me needing that. But yeah, when it comes down to it, sometimes when he's curt and to the point, I can now I finally am like, oh yeah, no, you're right. You're probably right. And I'll just let you have that.
We found most of our arguments were our own baggage just coming up, but what had nothing to do with the other person. It was just.
Are we reading this young Pablo?
Carried.
Is that how you say his name? Young Pablo? Young Pablo? Oh my God, I'm embarrassed. I have no idea how to say his name, but it's his written name.
I
And
think we know who you mean.
okay, good. And so he said that when you're fighting somebody, think of it rather, when we're fighting, don't think of it as a fight. Think of it as us together against our demons, our triggers, our past, and like try to really have the compassion to understand what they're feeling in the fight. And
but we're still on the same team together, helping each other through whatever it is we're both trying. It's not at each other. Yeah.
Like I'm hearing you say this, but maybe like what I don't know, but it's hard in the moment, right? Because we
No, I like that.
And we all want to be right.
Oh, that ego. I
know. But it feels good to realize, oh, I'm not right in this moment. So that's also empowering, because when you can own it, it's empowering in itself.
Totally. Yeah, I would agree about that.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any advice for people that are looking to call in their soulmate?
Love yourself and be happy before you do.
Oh my God.
There you go.
That's it.
Like, that's the only thing I can think of.
It is.
And before meeting him, it was the happiest I've ever been in my life. I finally found pure happiness. I was finally okay being single. I was loving and so proud of it, where I was in this moment with my son. And then he comes along. I'm like, why don't I just feel this earlier? But Costa Rica did show me what pure happiness really is. And this is when I had, nothing compared to the States, where we had to put our makeup on and we have to get in our fancy cars and always dressing up. And here it's like, you're just raw and you're with nature. And that's when I found pure, real, raw happiness, and really got to know myself a lot deeper too. And because of that, I think that's what drew him in.
Yeah, I mean, people had told me this forever, like find it in yourself, find it in yourself. And honestly, for the first time in my life, I think I did before meeting Shauna, and it's exactly the same deal, where I was like, whatever is going to come in, that's why I was able to go slow, in the sense that whatever is going to come into this, and it was me, Josie, and Bear. So I've got a cat and a dog, one cat and one dog, and nesting in the evening, like just pottering around the house and like like making my kitchen pantry a little bit better, whether it was putting spices in jars or whatever. Like, it was the happiest times for me. And I was like, whoever's going to come into this, they need to bring in and really add value because this is great. I'm happy, you know, and I don't think I always look for somebody to fix me or to
Yeah.
complete me or some bullshit,
Or
you know,
whatever. Yeah.
exactly, you know, and I think I was really happy, and now I'm so miserable. I'm kidding.
He's so miserable. He's still here. And it's not from cooking.
But yeah, it's so funny we have the exact same answer on that because we looked at it and there was like all these kinds of crazy things that fell into place for us to meet each other at the exact right time. And I think that really was it that made it possible, is that we were just both so comfortable.
One more thing.
Tell me, babe.
I think because you know that quote, be the person who you want to attract. And so who do you want to attract? And there was all these qualities I wanted to attract. And I worked years trying to work through traumas and trigger things that I knew would make me a very impossible partner because of the things that I experienced and how I react to certain things. And so I worked so hard. I've used every kind of therapist because I saw myself as this person. But my partner, I saw the same, or the opposite. I saw my partner, this person, and I wanted to be the same. So I really worked really hard on myself over the years. And I think that also played a part because I attracted what I was putting out.
Yeah.
And we know how hard it is to also meet people in Costa Rica. Like,
I don't know. I found it a lot easier than in the
You're right. Guys, I think like this has been lovely. Like really, really lovely chatting with you guys. There's so much more I want to even talk with you guys because if you could see, I think the two of you, the way we're able to see you, I think you'd realize you're doing a lot better than you're giving yourself credit.
When we first met you, it was just you guys were just had an energy that we just wanted to be a part of.
I don't know what's the celebration after pickleball, whatever that celebration is. You guys need to like do it every day.
You guys have a great energy,
Killing it, killing it. Like you guys need to give each other and together. You guys are doing freaking awesome, and like it's because you're both showing up because you care, and if you both care, that really is all you need. You're both in. You're both trying. It's not supposed to be easy. It's not.
Yeah, if it's supposed to be easy, then we get bored, right?
Yeah, 100%. And like you're gonna get to know, like keep loving new versions of each other over and over. And the fact that you already see these beautiful things in each other, you're gonna be part of activating that in each other, which also means, well, there's gonna be change every time. So again, but if you're both showing up to support each other and loving each other at that time, like that's all you need. You guys are doing awesome. You guys are fabulous.
Thanks, guys.
You really are. I loved your love story.